Welcome everyone to Art Together Tuesday. It's been a while and I'm glad to see we have a really nice turnout today. My name's Kevin Vogel. I'll be your host today. And today we have a couple of really great guest speakers here. We have Jim Campfield, who Jim and I have worked together for many, many years. How you doing, Jim?
Got me on mute, Kevin. Good
Uh,
afternoon. It's good to be
that's
here.
Sorry about that. All my fault. Melissa Mintz is with us today. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Kevin.
And Abby Madden's with us. So just so you remember, this is an open forum. If you have any questions during the presentation, please just get them in the chat. We'll try to answer them while we're in the meeting. And if we don't get to them while we're in the meeting, we'll make sure we get back to you just as soon as possible. So with that, we'll get started. So today's agenda, today Melissa is going to give you an update on the Inscape dashboard. She's going to show you the enhanced PST export feature that's now in Inscape Manage. And then I'm going to be covering how you can enable audio conferencing for free in your existing Microsoft licensing. And this again, is at no charge. I'm going to show you some of the new cool features that have come out in Teams in just the past couple of months. And then Jim's going to be covering the brand new Azure AD Connect. It's got a brand new version. He's going to be running through that whole thing for you. And I think you'll get a lot out of his. So with that, I'll drive for you, Melissa, and you can go ahead and tell these people all about the updates.
Thank you, Kevin. So yes, there's a couple of updates that came to the Inscape dashboard. The first one I wanted to discuss is Inscape Manage has now been renamed or rebranded Microsoft 365 Management on the dashboard. So if you're looking for Inscape Manage, it is now called Microsoft 365 Management. And that's where you'll find your user management, cost savings management, as well as security management tools and reporting. And then the other tile that we've renamed was the cost management tile. That is now called Cloud Management, and that's for your Azure, AWS, and soon to be GCP. Within that tile, that's where you'll be able to build out reports, build out budgets, build out profiles, and improve your security posture, cost savings, and much, much more. If you'd like, I will take over the screen right now and I will jump into that. So here is the cloud management tile in case you are all not familiar with that. So currently, here's where you'll be able to review your organization's cost review if you're using Azure or AWS and then soon to be GCP. So you can, take a look at your metrics on screen here, add filters for AWS, whether it's by account, cost type, resource, service, or tag, and the same for Azure. We also have the ability in here, Kevin and team, to build out profiles. So if you want to get a snapshot emailed to you, you can create up to 20 profiles and be emailed a snapshot on the day and time that you choose. So I can create a test name there, select the frequency that I want, the day of the week that I want it at, and then here's where I can type in my email address, and at that given date and time, I'd receive a snapshot of what's going on within my Azure or AWS environment. So there's a lot of great tools in here.
I noticed you can do it to 3 people there, Melissa. Is that 3 people that has to be the same in all 20 profiles, or does all 20 profiles have 3 different people that you can send it to?
You could select 3 different people. If you have a shared, email address that you want to use because you want a group of people to look at it, you could absolutely set it up that way as well.
You could even send it to a Teams email address, right? Like a team in Teams.
That is correct. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So this is one of the newer features in here. Again, we've renamed it from from cost management to cloud management. You also have the ability to build out budgets. So for those that are very cost, savings sensitive, you can come in here and actually set up budgets, whether it's for AWS or for Azure. So here you can see what the creation date is, expiration date, what the budget amount is, the spend is, and the progress, and also have alerts be sent to you when you're close to or have exceeded that threshold. So here you can track, your costs month to month, see how close you are to the threshold, whether it's 75%, 90%, 50%. You can also come in here and give yourself a budget amount. So it could be $1,000, $200, whatever works for your environment. So these are some of the tools in here to help with your cost optimization that, Abby and myself are happy to get on a separate call and walk you guys through individually and how you can better leverage this and set up your things like your budget, your alerts, leverage the advisor in here for recommendation to improve cost, performance, service, whether it's for Azure, AWS, etc. So that's
Even
it.
security I see down here too.
Absolutely,
Wow, that's a good
absolutely.
one. 100. We better get on that. There's 122 of them. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Exactly. There's a bunch of recommendations, and through the recommendations too, it also provides you with what the recommendation action is. So it doesn't just tell you what the issue is, but it also gives you what you need to do to improve that. So here it's telling you to follow the Security Hub documentation to fix the issue, so you can go ahead and take that insight to improve your security posture. And as you complete these recommendations, you can track your maturity through the maturity tracker here. And again, this is in beta, but just a quick little sneak peek for you all here on today's call. We want to take you from crawling to running. And so you can leverage the maturity area here within a cost management or cloud management here to, walk through the recommendations, see what the status is, learn more about what that particular recommendation is, or even ignore a particular change. So you don't have to take all of these. You do have the option, to ignore these, build out profiles to be alerted of these recommendations, so on and so forth.
So it's almost like a secure score that you were showing. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. How Microsoft has the secure score with that 96 out of 100 type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing.
Exactly. So this is going to give you your percentage so that people can compare how they're doing on their journey to the cloud versus other organizations. So in our little demo account, you can see we rank 84% better than other Inscape customers.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Okay.
So that's just a quick high level on that. So that is now called cloud management for any of our AWS and Azure CSPs here on today's call. The other change we've made here is Microsoft 365 management. So this was formerly Inscape 365. So if you're looking for quote unquote Inscape Manage, Microsoft 365 management is that tool, just rebranded. So if you come in here, this will take you to your dashboard again for your user management, your security management, and your cost management. Now, with regards to the PST export changes, we have now moved to modern authentication. We had gotten a lot of inquiries about delays and the length of time it would take to do a PST export for files that were greater than 40 gigabytes. So now with the modern authentication in place for the PST export tool, that will alleviate that and give our users, a greater flexibility as far as the PST export tool is concerned.
Are you still limited to just 2 simultaneous transfers at the same time?
I believe so, but I think with this increase in the PST file size, that's going to be great for a lot of our users because with our super admin view, we could see people having file sizes that are a lot larger than 20 gigabytes. And, we want to make sure that they're able to leverage the tool, even though it's not an official Office 365 backup, but get the most bang for the buck for this tool.
Right. I know that they didn't want to soak your bandwidth if, they allowed, a lot of transfers all at the same time. I know you can queue up as many as you want, but I believe you can only do 2 at a time. Once one's done, it will start the next and so on down the line. And it looks like, we're just like Microsoft. We like to rename things, don't we?
Yes, we do. We like to keep it interesting, but wanted to make sure our community is aware of just those couple of changes that are in place currently, and we'll keep you guys apprised of any other changes and new features that are going to get rolled out.
All right. Well, thank you, Melissa. And if you have any questions for Melissa on, anything that she covered, please just stick it in the chat. We'll be more than happy to answer that. I know Abby's right there ready to answer them and Melissa also, and myself, if I'm not talking, I'll be more than happy to do it. So let's talk about audio conferencing, because this is a question that I get probably 5, 6, 7 times every single day. People are asking about audio conferencing. Now, just to make sure everyone understands what audio conferencing is, That's the ability for people to be able to dial in or dial out of a Teams meeting. It adds that little extra feature in a meeting where down at the bottom it will give you a phone number to call and a PIN number to dial in with, and this will actually join you to the Teams meeting. You can also, right from the meeting, be able to dial out to a person's cell phone or office phone or whatever it might be and have them join via the phone. So just to let you know, this when they changed the pricing back in March, they added this feature to all the enterprise licensing SKUs. So I put this little chart up here, as you can see, anything in the Microsoft realm like E3 or E5, you'll notice that the E5 security and E5 compliance, those are add-ons anyway. So they wouldn't include them. You have to have the other one to have them anyway. Obviously, E1, E3, E5 on the standard Office 365, even the F1 and F3 in the Microsoft 365 and the Office 365 F3 all include now audio conferencing, and it's available via the no cost audio conferencing with dial out, US and Canada add-on license. So all you have to do is go into Inkscape or wherever you procure your licenses from for CSP, for your EAs, and you can go in here and include this with those licenses that I pointed out that will now have this feature available. And like I said, unlimited dial in. So you can have people unlimitedly dial in from anywhere into your meetings. You do get 60 minutes per user per month of outgoing calls from your user group. So if you have a 1,000 people in your organization with any of the licenses that we talked about here, times that by 60, you get 60,000 minutes of outgoing calls that people can place right from a Teams meeting. Pretty cool to be able to do that. So all you have to do is go in and assign that license to one of the users. So this is just, I figured I'd throw in a roadmap here real quick of calling, since, you know, audio conferencing, calling, they kind of play together. This is just a link to all the different things that were either added to the roadmap that are in development, or as you can see down here, that have been launched recently for all the different features inside of the Teams calling area. So I just figured I'd throw this in there for you, just so you guys could see. Obviously, this presentation, we will make sure that we email out to you. Just to show you how to go in and use the Teams administration console, is you can go into users, you can go into audio conferencing, you can obviously edit audio conferencing and enable that license right here. Very easy to do. All you have to do is run in there and do that. You can also pick which phone numbers you want to be displayed inside of that add-on to your meetings. So you can do that again from the Microsoft console. You can go in and, you know, use any of the existing numbers that come right from Microsoft. So if you're in South Florida, or if you're in Texas, or if you're in, you know, California, wherever you might be, you can go in and pick from a very long list of numbers that are out there, and be able to call into them right into the meeting. So these are just, you know, the 5 steps it takes to do that. So I just figured I'd throw them into the presentation here. It's very, very easy. All you got to do is go right into audio conferencing, and boom, you're ready to go with how it works. Let me go on to the next slide here. Oh, sorry about that. You can also go in and, let's say that you need a dial-in number that you guys already own. Well, you can put in an 800 number, you can put in a bridge settings, and you can use those numbers for people to dial in also if you want to. All these settings, again, right inside the administration console, pretty easy to do. Just go in and set it up for yourself. If you're having problems, get a hold of us. we can walk you through how to do it. I'm actually working on just a quick video to show you how to do it in real time. That will be posted out there in our YouTube channel pretty soon. So you'll be able to get that. So let's see what else I have. Oh, okay, new features. And this is something cool. Let me share my screen instead of sharing the presentation here. One of the things that they added that I use all the time is the ability to actually chat with myself. So I'm going to go in here and open up my Teams over here. And you can see that you can create a chat with yourself. You can go in here and just put in information that no one else can see. It's just you. You can add files to this if you want. You can go in here, and add different files. They'll be right here. Obviously, you can go over to files and get them also, but it's a real cool feature in here. It's something that I use just to keep track of things. If I need a little bit of, a little bit of help remembering things, as we all get older, I need a lot of help, to be honest with you. So it's why I did it. So it really does work. So take advantage of it if you want. You can now remove calls from your call list. You can declutter the history in your calls. All you got to do is go over. You can hover over the call, remove it from the list just to trim down all the ones that are on there. All those things are in there. You can join a meeting with an ID and passcode. Pretty easy to do now that it can include them in there. So all these things came out in July. In June, this is the feature I told you about with chat for yourself. It does work pretty easily. And here are just some of the other things that are out or coming out. New video filters that they actually released in May. If you haven't tried them, there's a whole bunch of new ones that they have out there. The whiteboard, you can do, there's some new reactions that you can get in the whiteboard application. You can have local time added to people's profiles so that this way, you'll see that they're either, on Central Time or on, West Coast time. One of the things that they didn't have in here, that I don't know if you've taken advantage of it, but you can actually go in here and look at their LinkedIn profiles right from Teams now. It's one of the options that are in Teams. So, Teams is becoming more and more integrated into what we do every day. One of the things that I use down here at the bottom is transcripts for one-on-one calls. So if you wanted to take a transcript so that you make sure you do all the things that are assigned to you maybe in a meeting, transcripts is a great way to do it instead of listening back to a recording. So just to let you know what's available, there's a whole bunch coming. And one thing that Microsoft does with Teams is they do update it all the time. So with that, I'm going to add Jimmy in here and let him get going. Jim?
Thanks, Kevin, and I appreciate the lessons. I learned a couple things that I don't get a chance to do on Teams, so I appreciate it. It's funny, one of the things I do every Monday morning is I look at all of the announcements from Microsoft. It's a task on my calendar every Monday morning, and I still miss them, so go figure. Reason I'm on the call today is relatively simple. Many of you on the call, excuse me, are probably utilizing Active Directory Connect, AD Connect. Used to be called, I forget what it used to be called, but what it does is a one-way replication of all of your email-enabled Active Directory objects up to 365. So when you're creating accounts, when you're managing accounts, etc., it then will replicate. It does password synchronization, etc. And as of tomorrow, AD Connect 2.0 is the supported version. AD Connect 1.x is out of support, for lack of a better word. They have been announcing this for the last 6 or 9 months that AD Connect 2 is coming. So we just wanted to take 5 or 10 minutes, talk a little bit about it, answer some of the questions that we're hearing from clients, let you know about the options, etc., and what it would take for you guys to get up to AD Connect 2. So it's not a big deal. Your Office 365 is not going to stop working tomorrow at midnight, so don't worry about it. So next slide,
And this is
please.
the included, yeah, this is the included one. This isn't a cost option or anything like that.
Yeah, no, this is all what we've all been using for the last 12 or 13 years.
That's it.
This is just the next version. So, and
Right.
it is free. It's funny, it was when we were reviewing the version 2, from a functional perspective, there's really no new functionality to speak of. What they've done is they've upgraded the versions, they've updated the underlying requirements for it. They've moved it to TLS 1.2. Everybody on the phone can read, so I'm not going to read all of the requirements here, or read all of the changes that have occurred. But for all intents and purposes, Microsoft is getting very aggressive at getting clients to maintain or to upgrade, and it can be a challenge. Um, so at the end of the day, they're trying to get everybody moved up to enhance or to improve security. So at the end of the day, the biggest change on here is that AD Connect is going to need to run on a Windows Server 2016, a domain joined Windows Server 2016. It does not have to be a dedicated Windows Server 2016, but you do not want to run it on either a domain controller or an Exchange server if you happen to have an Exchange server in your environment, like, I don't know, a hybrid. So you can run on basically anything else. It's a very low impact um, application. And what's very cool is if somebody walks in your door and steals your server and runs like crazy, you can spin a new one up and have it up and running probably within about 20 minutes. So, but it is a very important server, and it does the replication between premise and cloud. So next slide, please, Kevin. Oop. Getting a little aggressive on me there,
Yeah,
brother.
I am.
Like I said, it's 2016 domain joined server. Previously, you did not have to have it as a domain joined box. Okay. The hardware requirements have not changed. If you're a normal organization is what I mean by you have less than about 5,000 users, you're probably going to be well served by a four gigs of RAM and a couple of processors. You need like very little storage for it. When you get bigger, then you bump it up to about 16 gigs of RAM. But at the end of the day, you'll be most likely covered with that. Okay. This presentation is going to come out with all of the links, et cetera, that are in it. And you can go down in deep. You can use virtual hardware. You can use physical hardware, whatever you prefer. So next slide, please.
Hey, Jim, before you jump to the next slide, Scott here has a question. He says he's showing that he's running AD Connect 2.1.16. Is he good?
Man, you've been cheating, and Scott's been cheating and reading ahead in the book. Looks like you're good to go, man. Yep, AD Connect, it used to be version 1. Now you're on version 2.x, so you're good. Okay. There's two options for doing an upgrade. One is an in-place upgrade. If you're currently running on 2016, if the server has TLS 1.2, which it should, you can do it literally an in-place upgrade from the 1 to the 2. Okay. If you're not, next slide, you can do what's called a swing migration. I don't know where swing came from. Microsoft provided it, so I'm using it. Basically, it allows you to do an export of your current AD Connect config replication profile, move it to another to a 2016 server, reinstall, run it, import it, follow the instructions, and you'll be good to go. It's something that shouldn't take more than an hour or two. Okay. So again, you have two choices. One is an in-place, or two, swing migration. I'm going to use swing migration in the future because I like it. So next slide, please. Just a couple of minutes. I can speak so well. Okay. A couple of miscellaneous points. To do an in-place upgrade, you do have to be on 2016 or newer, 2016, 19, 22. Okay. And the auto upgrade will only work if you have all of the requirements, the underlying requirements. So for example, if you're running SQL 2012 components on the server, you guys can read, it wouldn't work. So if it's a server you've had around for a long time and you've been running AD Connect on it for a while, if it's not difficult, do a swing migration. If it's a VM and that's all it's doing, spin up a new one, swing over to it, and then bring the old one down and use the new one. You'll be very well served. Okay, and just pay attention to the notes. Again, you'll get the link in the presentation that's going to be sent. Next slide, please. So here's the primary reason why I'm here. Okay. What if I don't want to upgrade? I love that question. Or what if I'm not ready to upgrade or whatever? Okay. You're good to go for the near future. The near future being the next 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. I can't see Microsoft clicking the switch that says if you're using 1.0, it's not going to work for at least a year. I didn't read that at anywhere at Microsoft. I'm doing that based on the last 13 years of experience. But don't sit around and wait forever and ever until we get the final notice and you get to the 2-minute warning or something like that. So look, I'll be very honest with you. If you guys have applications that are running on server 2008, server 2012, you need to upgrade it. I mean, I know you have nothing else to do. I understand that completely, but it needs to be moved up your task list, or you need to move it to Azure or Amazon or Google. Okay, your choice. I'm a Microsoft guy, so always go Microsoft, but there are other things out there. But you need to get off that stuff because you're opening your company to security holes. Okay, it's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care how good your firewall is. I don't care how good your security is. Okay, holes like that, all you're doing is opening the door and letting Mr. Murphy in. So please, if you want help, there's many people out there, including us, who can help you develop a plan to move AD to the newer versions, to move up to new servers, to move up into the cloud, whichever. Okay, but please spend some time. There's a gazillion articles out there about how to do it quickly. So please, please, please do it, because in today's day and age, too many clients are getting attacked and they're losing control of 1, 2, 30, 300 servers, and it's no fun. It's a really good resume generating event for anyone who unfortunately has to go through it. So sorry, I'm done ranting now. Next slide, please. And this is basically the last slide, I believe. And this is basically all of the lists, the links, etc., with all the Q&As, the facts, etc., that you need to look at. So just to let you know, we've developed a process where if you want us to help you upgrade, it's a fixed price engagement. We'll help you build a new server and set up a backup capability. If you wish, it's a fixed price engagement for about $2,500. So if it's something you would like some help with, we're happy to help you. And other than that, I think I am out of things to say. So back to you, Mr. Kevin.
You got it, Jim. Thanks very much. I think you mentioned to me that there's a certain domain level you have to be at also. I didn't see that on your slides.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
But that's okay. Luckily I paid attention when you told me about this.
Yep. Long story short, folks, is the server needs to be 2016, and Microsoft is looking to enforce 2012 R2 as the minimum domain functional level. And that is something that's happening right now. So if you're on Active Directory 2012 R2, 2016, 2019, you're fine, but you need to get upgraded because the current version of Active Directory is 2022. The current versions that are supported are 2019 and 2022. 2016 is an extended support. 2012 R2 is an extreme extended support, which will end about a year from now. Okay, so at the end of the day, Microsoft has moved from supporting current version -2, so Windows 10, Windows 8, and Windows 7, just as an example. They've moved to current -1. So today, the current versions of supported Windows are Windows 11 and Windows 10. Windows 8 is an extended support. Windows 7 it's in the rearview mirror. Okay, same thing with SQL. Same thing with Exchange. Same thing with all of their application servers and applications. So they've applied that rule across, and they're pushing all of their clients to move to the new current version and to move to the monthly recurring through 365. So thank you, Kevin.
You got it, Jim. Just something I remembered that you told me. So I'm just, luckily I'm following along here. Like I said, any questions? Let me just see if there's any questions in here. Nope. I guess Tony was the last one. We're good there. So great. I think this is a great meeting. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Abby. Thanks, Jim. And thanks everyone for showing up. We're going to have a full schedule in September. I know we're putting it together right now, and I hope you guys had a great summer. The kids are back in school and you can get back to a normal life, hopefully. And we'll be looking to get together soon on our Together Tuesdays. With that, have a great day. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Take care.